Hi guys, it's Alicja here, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do something a lot of you have asked me to do for such a long time and I never ever did, which is what exactly do my brushes do? How do they work? How to use them? What to use them for? And etc etc. I am going to start with the sketchy brush set. This is the most popular brush set, which I understand because sketching in line art is the most important part of my drawing routine. So obviously the brushes I use for my sketching and line art are going to be pretty important. And as you guys probably should know, I use kind of sketchy brushes for my line art, which most times will be this little guy, my favorite little sketchy line art brush. But I'm going to explain every one of these brushes today. So first, let's just make a swipe for every of those brushes so you can have an idea of what they look like, how they work. This is the liner pencil. It's a pretty new one. I added it so people can also make smooth line art within the brush set. Multiply pencil is a brush I don't use. I did use it a lot in the beginning of my art career when like a few years ago, but it just doesn't do it for me anymore because I just have a different style now. This will do. I'll just make the patches and then I'll explain what those do. So, coloring pencil. I am such a perfectionist. Oh my god. This is the brush I used as my favorite brush, as my main sketching and line art brush for such a long time. It's still an amazing brush. I use it sometimes, but still the sketch line art brush took its place, didn't go back anymore. 6B pencil is, as you probably already think, it's a very dark and very strong pencil and very textured, but I'll show everything later. And this is basically the same one but with even more texture, not that visible. This is a watercolor effect pencil, which can be very fun. I love drawing with this one. And this only blends, so I can't really show you. This is kind of a pencil like every other one, but for blending, so I'll just skip this one. Smooth blend. This one does both sketching and blending. It does have a very soft feeling when you draw with it. I love it. Ooh. I freaking love it. Oh my god. Okay, sketch line art 3. All those things are coming from sketch line art. The first thing there was only the sketch line art, but then I changed it a little bit. I added extra versions, and this is how we ended up here. And my baby, ooh, my favorite one. I have 2 to go, so we need a little bit extra space. The last one. Okay, so you might think there are such little differences between all of those brushes, and there are small differences. But the thing is, you still find like the one you like the most. For example, I can't imagine myself drawing with any other brush than with this one most of the times. I do use some more brushes from this brush set, but I did pick one favorite of mine as my style changed. So I keep all of those brushes because they all work amazing in their own way. If I had different style, I use different brush. When I drew more in a style of Rose draws, of course I didn't use this one for line art. I used this one. Or once I tried to draw more like Siren for fun. I didn't really share it anywhere. I also chose this one. I remember drawing with this when I wanted to make very realistic looking sketch, like real life looking sketch. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm sure you guys that have this brush set and use it, I'm sure you also have your favorite. But anyway, still I'm going to help you find your favorite from this set, or help you find a few favorites you're going to use every day. Okay, so let's go to line art pencil. I'll just make a place to show off line art pencil. Nothing too difficult. It's a very, very soft brush, you know. It's very smooth, easy to draw. It smooths out as you go, so it's very good for line art. There's no texture. This is the only brush without any texture. Yeah, this is more or less how it works. Next one. Multiply pencil. This is the most interesting of all the brushes right here, because this one, you see, does something like this. When you color anything, you can do it. When you take a look at my old drawings, you can see I used it a lot. Also just for shading. It's so nice for shading. So very nice for shading sketchy drawings. I absolutely love it. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Coloring pencil. This was my favorite. It's also very smooth. There is no texture going outside of it, if you can see. Some of those brushes will have a lot of texture going outside of it for a different effect, something different you can be looking for. It's pretty strong. I always use it for line art, in my style, like this sketchy looking line art. It can go very dark, very easy. This is the direction it goes more. Like when you press slightly, it already goes pretty damn dark, which I really like when I do any kind of line art. Okay, next one. 6B pencil. This is a very dark one, and you can see that the texture goes outside of the brush. And this one is very dark. As you probably know, like 6B is the hardest, or one of the hardest pencils in real life. When you go small, 6B pencil full texture. As you can probably guess, it's the same brush, also with the texture going outside of the lines, but with more place for texture inside. You can see it right here. The texture is very much visible. I'll just zoom in. Very much visible when you draw. Different than this one, because this one goes practically dark inside, and this one leaves the texture, which I wanted to add very bad because I feel like it's useful for a lot of styles. So yeah. Now we have watercolor effect pencil, which is just a fun little pencil I made. You can see when you draw with it, it has very weird effect when you connect it, just like any watercolor paint. I really like this effect. I did try it a lot. I like to play with it when I'm just bored, not working for my job, just for my hobby. I love to play with brushes like this. Just look at this. Oh, I love it. It just blends so nicely. Yeah, very soft. For sketching, very, very soft. Okay, next one. Dark line art pencil. And this is one of the brushes I've also used besides the best little sketch line art. Because this one has very sharp beginning. There's just a slight bit of texture going outside of it. It's very smooth also, not too smooth, so you can have a lot of freedom still, but it's great for line art and for like eyes, you know, like I want to do some sharp things, you use it. I really enjoy using this brush. It has also a lot of speed control, so also even it's connected with pressure with speed. So very soft pressure and very slow speed is going to result in very light and thin line. So keep that in mind. Only blend pencil, I'm not going to show too much. It's a pretty self-explanatory, smooth blend pencil. I'm just going to zoom in all the time now. It's better, more comfortable. As you can also imagine, it's a blending kind of brush. You can use it for different things. I don't really use it because I don't need to blend my line art, but some of the people do, so I decided to make a very nice, very smooth working blending pencil, which you don't really have it in real life. That's why I love digital art. You can make whatever. Yes, this is basically how it works. Very soft when you draw it. To shade with it depends what you're going for. Sketchy line art free. So this is the sketchy line art free. Very nice to work with, and this one is just it has the most smoothing, so as you draw, you can see there's no wobbling whatsoever. It's very straight lines, very smooth. Sketch line art 2, the same, just slightly different, just slightly darker. It works slightly different. Those differences are so little, I'm not even going to explain it. I do include all of them, although they don't differ so much from each other, because they can still make a slight difference for an artist, enough to just make one of them their favorite, one of them better than the other, that's for sure. So yeah, that's how this one works. This one is very dark. You can see the difference here right away, because I made it the 1.2. I don't use it to draw, I use it to erase. So for example, when I draw with my favorite sketchy line art, and when I draw with this brush with just my favorite sketchy line art, and I have some lines, this is very zoomed in, and then I want to erase, when I erase with the same brush, it can leave some texture, as you can see, you know, because it has more texture. But when I erase with sketchy line art 1.2, it's always going to be just full, no worries. I don't have to worry about any little dirt kind of left from the sketching. So, and the last two are going to be HB Sketch, just a very textured and softer brush, and 2H pencil. It's very light, and I use it a lot for the base sketch, like just to get an idea of what I want to draw. I love this brush. This is probably the second most used of me. Just very nice for sketching, you know. You just feel so comfortable when you have such a nice light and soft brush to work with, you know. It always looks good, even when you make an ugly face. Just this brush always looks good. Okay, so this is it for today. I hope you guys found it useful. I hope everyone that uses my brush set, sketchy brush set, now can get a better idea of what all of this is, how to use it, and why are they there. I hope the explanation was enough. I didn't want to explain too much because this video would get too long. It's just the basics, and what you do with all those brushes in this set, it's all up to you. You just need to find your own favorite brushes, your own routine of what you use for what. I just hope to give you enough options to do that right here. Not too much, so you can still kind of not get too lost in all of those brushes, but still a lot of options. And I hope this video didn't feel too much as an ad to guys, buy my brushes, come on. I appreciate everyone buying my brushes. You guys support my art, you guys pay for everything I do, so I am very appreciated, and you guys are basically so freaking important in my life, so thank you. I owe you everything I have, actually, so appreciate it so freaking much. Yeah, so anyway, if you want to get this brush set, you can get it on my website. The link is in the description of this video. It's aliciaprints.com. And thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Bye bye.